what you smoking? I said, I bet. She smiled, then she giggled. I said, stop that. And when it come to breaking law.
You guys aren't ready for my next guest. You're not ready. Well, Hatchet, come on up in here, man. Come on. Put all that away. Get your headphones on.
It's going down.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, baby? How we doing?
How in the hell did we catch you, man?
You know, it must have been a blessing and a curse.
It's really hard to get a hold of you and to find you wherever the hell you end up.
Yeah, that's why your people had to call my people, you know. You had to book it a couple months out. But before we get to all that, what's up with you? What's going on? Who you is? Where they know you from? What it is?
All right, what's up? My name's Joe, but you people on the keys might know me as Q. I used to have a pink mohawk. I used to be hot. I'm married and fat now. I used to throw gigs over at Coconuts. My company was called Keys Disease.
Okay.
And we used to get it out back in the day.
Okay.
How I know this fool is my sister married his brother. They're a great-looking family, by the way. And, we've been locked up ever since then and, just hitting each other every once in a while. I remember I used to see you back in the day, bro, like... I used to be walking because I used to go to the park to breakdance.
Yeah.
And then I would see you skating by. And how old were you, like 12 or something like that?
13, 14. Yeah.
You used to always have a crazy look on your face. I'm like, man, that guy's going to do something someday.
Yeah, man. The young days, jitterbug, man. It was crazy. 06, I moved from Marathon to Key Largo.
Right.
And I had just started skateboarding back in March or something.
So last time I saw you, right, it was back in 2019, 2020. We were at Hog Heaven, getting it in.
Hey.
That's where I met my wife, by the way.
Hey.
And, I was following you around and I was listening to your stuff. And I had your CD for a long time. You had given it to me. But I haven't listened to your stuff since then and I haven't really seen you. So what have you been up to since 2019, 2020? And what have you been up to?
Man, it's been a lot. I was just out there getting to it. I was pushing. I had the Digi-Hatch about to drop. I had Instagram photos that just dropped. Let me see. We was getting ready to start filming for Third Planets and stuff. But I had a kid in 2020, and during COVID. My grandma died in March.
Right.
March, actually May in 2020. And then I had my kid in July. Cash. He 5 now. I haven't really dropped much but singles. We got Darling, that's the newest one. That had came out in February. That thing hard. Y'all need to go bump that. Then, my dog Trav, he had the little shootout with Monroe County. That was in 21. We had just got back from visiting Carl and Mercedes up in Maryland. And, I forget, I drove back straight through or whatever. I get home, I'm taking my little 10-hour, rest, whatever it is. I wake up, my dog Drew hit me up. Hey, there's somebody shooting at the police, 102, the strip on Mahogany. Right. And, I get in the shower. I'm like, nah, for real, woo woo. And he like, yeah, dog, So, boom, I take a shower, smoke my little brief, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, man, Travis stay over here behind the police, behind the pawn shop, you know what I mean? Right across from the Mary Nelson where the police be at the substation. So I was like, man, maybe it's this nigga. So I tried to call him. He don't answer. So I called Drew back. He was like, yo, it's Travis. And I'm like, God damn. So they had posted on Facebook that they was getting shot at. And then they took that post down. And then all of a sudden, supposedly my dog killed himself. But it is what it is, whatever happened. So my dog died. I was depressed for a little bit. I quit skating as much. I quit rapping as much. Mm-hmm. I had that Rolling Loud thing. It was coming through in the mix of all that. Shout out to Tariq, all them boys are Rolling Loud, Matt, all them boys. So, Travis died. Life keep going on. I'm still writing music, making music. JV still over here, you know what I'm saying? AJ, he's still around, whatever. Him, he around, all that. But Digi Hatch, drop the Digi Hatch.
Right.
You know, a couple originals, a bunch of remixes. I think it was like 11 songs or whatever. But I ain't dropped a full project since. I've been dropping singles. I done dropped Darling, Sabretooth, uh, Third Planet, the video, Re-Up, Told You, Dark Thoughts, a couple more, Young Age, you know what I'm saying, all sorts of stuff. But during Rolling Loud and stuff, I had, like I said, I was very emotional and I was very self-destructive at the time, with the passing of one of my best homeboys, my rider, you dig?
Mm-hmm.
And I made some dumb decisions. I fumbled in a little situation. I had me and Dupree. We'll talk about the Rolling Loud shit later on, I guess. But yeah, so boom, we get past that. I'm still in the studio. I be with Hype, you know what I'm saying? I ain't been with Hype in a minute, but we coming up on a reunion, probably like a 4-year reunion.
Okay.
But I was fucking around with Hype Beats. Shout out Hype. I was fucking with Kai in the Sky. Shout out Kai. Steve Woods, that's my dog, you know what I'm saying? Me and him been bumping for the last couple years. I ain't recorded since July last year. We almost damn near in 2026, but 2026 we got a lot coming for him. So yeah, shout out Steve Woods. I had really just started writing again recently. I got a bunch of remixes I done been writing. I got a whole bunch of originals I done been writing. I got the Lost Tapes. You might have seen the little artwork on Instagram. We in a little beta era, but I might drop a little Lost Tapes on them. I got a bunch of stuff in the cut that ain't been put to the eye of the people yet, so I might let the people get to it. But yeah, I got a kid now. I broke my ankle October 1st. I had just really started working out back in June. I've been getting my swole on. Y'all see me out there. We big with the fitness shit. We big with the eating healthy. Finna get personal trainer certified, all that. Getting fresh. Been getting fresh. I was working on some skate filming, real serious, and then messed up my ankle playing kickball.
Right.
Some dumb shit. But
So let me ask you a question. Like, so January's coming up, right?
yes, sir.
What's your resolution? What like, how are you feeling? Like, you also rapping. So,
Hey.
what does your January 1st look like?
My January 1st, I don't know. I had gave up drinking, so it's gonna look like I'm gonna be sitting somewhere not drinking. We like 100 and something days in, no Heinekens. You hear me?
So you're gonna be sitting somewhere not drinking.
You hear me? For the first time in a grip, we doing that. Look at my hair, y'all. My hair long as hell. We on the hair growth journey. We on the fitness journey. But January 1st, I mean, I ain't the person that's like, oh, my New Year's, new me, da 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 da. It's the same old Hatch, baby. But just without the Heinekens, just without the big belly or whatever you want
Right.
to
So,
talk about.
so what I hear is it's New Year back to you.
You heard me? So this what it's gonna be.
Okay.
We're gonna be dropping a whole bunch of music. We dropping full blown projects, at least 4 of them. We're gonna have an EP. I got the Digi Hatch 102. The album is gonna finally come out this year. And at least 2-3 mixtapes. I promise you, I put it on everything. I put that shit on my kid. I put that shit on Travis. We was getting drops in 2026. Um, it's gonna be real serious. We driven. We going hard, head first, head strong into this shit. We're gonna have a lot of music videos. We're gonna have Alexia working on it. We're gonna have my dog Cody Daly, aka Delay out of Key West. We're gonna have him in the mix. I got my dog Lil Riley, from Key Largo, Riley Fro. I'm gonna have him on a couple videos in the mix. We're gonna try to shoot one up in Holy Smokes up in Key Largo soon and shit. I heard they got a little sushi spot next door. We gonna probably do something out there.
All right.
Paddle to Florida Keys. We might probably shoot another one over there at Paddle. We did that shit at the Mar Bar. You might, catch me on some eco tours and shit. We're gonna be doing some skits. We're gonna be doing a lot of entertaining this year, man. Because I need to keep my head busy and I need to give y'all what y'all deserve.
How can people find all this stuff that you're doing?
Yeah. Pretty much, it's gonna be a lot on Instagram, a lot of YouTube recaps of what's gonna be on Instagram. But if you want the day to day, cool vibe, whatever, catch me on the Snapchat. We out there, LAHATCHET, one word, La Hatchet, baby. Woo! King of the Keys, you know what it is. But yeah, you got me on Facebook. You already know, Pete the Facebook. If you got me on, SoundCloud, be ready because SoundCloud coming back with the boom. We're gonna have a lot of remixes up there for you. Um, Shit, catch me in the gym if you really want to catch me. You know what I'm saying? I
What
be
about um? I hate to interrupt you, but what about the young people who look at you and they say, "Hey, I can never be like that guy. I could never start out. I could never approach them and say, "Hey, I got some ideas. I got some songs. I got some things." Because a lot of people here in the Keys, uh, they're they're not they're comfortable following people and having fun and stuff, but a lot of them are too afraid to just go out there and skate, go out there and try.
I come from outer space.
But what do you say to them, like people who want to follow you and watch your videos, and they say, "Man, like he's doing all this stuff, but I could never do it."
All right, we're gonna talk about that too. Remember this: it's only one of you. It's 10 billion people probably on this earth. They tell you it's 6 or 7, but I'm feeling it's more like 10. But it's only one of you, man. Only one person that could be you. Only one person that could put that skin on every single day. So you got to go out there and be the best in the skin you in. And I'm nobody. I'm literally an average ass, regular ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I work on a crab and lobster boat. I smoke weed. Been smoking weed since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I got demons. Ain't nothing crazy. Ain't nothing special
Mm-hmm.
about me. But I understand that there's only one La Hatchet, only one
Hmm.
KMA. I don't know who I was since I was 12, 13, 14 years old for real. And I mean, anybody that knew me then, they know me now to pretty much be the same person, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't never nothing to go try. If you never try, you ain't never gonna do it. You wouldn't have seen me on the stream with Aiden Ross if I ain't try. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't
Right.
have seen Charleston White talking about, hey, he's kind of jamming. You know what I'm saying? You would have never seen that. You would have never seen me at Street League hanging out with Jamie Foy and people like that. You would have never seen it.
Right.
You,
There was no one doing it. Well, I grew up here at the same time you did, and if you
exactly.
didn't fish and if you didn't go out on the boat, there wasn't nothing for you.
Yeah.
So I remember when you were starting out, people were like, "Oh, there's this crazy little dude just like rapping and all this stuff," and you had a lot of friends who were like into it as well. And what were you guys recording on? What, because back then we didn't have all this. Like, look, this is plug and play. I can go on Amazon. I can just start a stream. But
Nah, this is wild.
when you started, you were like, what did you have to like record on a tape?
All
Or
right, so I started in 5th grade. Honestly, I did a rap for Dare. I won a little contest. I performed it in front of all the parents and the kids in my class. But after that, I got a little tape player, tape recorder. I be doing freestyles, all that. So that's why my freestyles like I never really wrote till
right,
5th grade, but I was already freestyling, doing all that type of stuff since I was like 6 or 7. But really, MySpace 2006. I lived on Mahogany. Shout out to Mahogany. We on the M, and I had a nigga named Christian that lived in my downstairs. We on a webcam, we on a Zoom, you know what I'm saying? And we literally using the mic off the webcam and we putting the shit on MySpace. I had a song called Fuck C Boys. Song did like 50,000 plays or something like that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not really realizing like 50,000 is a lot. Like I ain't hit past 10, 20,000 since high school. So fifty
right.
thousand is something I'm still trying to get to. So y'all help me get to 50,000. But yeah, we had a little Zoom, little webcam. I had a Fuck C Boys, dropped that. I had a bunch of freestyles. Mike Jones, Next to See You, Hood Hop by Jaquan. Uh, I can't even remember, but a bunch of them. Flossin, I think, was one of them. Mike Jones type shit. Boom. So we get to high school. I ain't got no CDs or nothing. It's on MySpace. It's digital. MySpace ain't a thing no more now. Everybody on Facebook.
Right.
Boom, that's '07, '08. I'm still rapping, but I'm writing and I ain't got Christian living under me no more. And I moved to Lime Drive, one street over. Shout out, she got like microphones and shit in her classroom and the storage and stuff. But for cameras,
Right.
I think. Then one day I was like, fuck it, let me try to mess around with something. She got a MacBook. I don't really like Macs, but Nick Beyond the Letty, he was in that, he'd make me beats on the Mac. That was actually the next time I actually did something. 11th grade, I made a song with Nick Beyond the Letty. It was a little freestyle. Shit was funny. He had a little alarm sound like at the beginning of it. And I'm talking about some soda machines selling something like, blah, 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 vending, do, woo, woo. It was cool. And we dropped that on the MySpace. That shit did probably like 10,000. It was cool. And senior year, I get a Mysterious for real. Nick, first day of school, I came on the third day because I was at my grandma's house over town. Rest in peace, Granny, on some runaway shit. And I come back on the third day. Nick got a beat for me. I was like, okay, boom. We recorded. We got everybody in the classroom in the room, and I cut that after that. That day it was cool. You hear Hannah in the background. Probably hear Andrea in there once or twice. It was like that because we was all like tight.
Right.
But then I was like getting ambitious about it. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna do this for real. So I started doing CDs. I made 3 CDs senior year. I sold probably 800 copies. Everybody in Coral Shores bought one of these shits for anywhere from $1 to $5. And I sold a lot of blank CDs. So I'm sorry if I ever sold you a blank CD. I usually, gave them the CD back or whatever. But so I made these 3 mixtapes. I had mostly freestyles. They were recorded horribly because I didn't realize you're supposed to download the song first, put the song into the background of the shit. What I was doing is I'm hitting record while the song playing out of the fucking MacBook. So all that shit sounded trash except for the times Nick Beyond the Lady or Seeger made the motherfucking beat. Shout out my dog Seeger. He put me on the metal too. So Seeger was really my homeboy. He helped you know, help me on some innovative shit, on some skate rock, skate rap shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't have been listening to metal if it wasn't for him and Ricky Brill. So, boom, we get past that, move through it. I got a couple little originals in the mix, and those shits are killing it. Everybody fucking with me, you know what I'm saying? Da-da-da-da-da. I was real popular, whatever. I played lacrosse. I was first team All-Dade County, first person to do it like that, you know what I'm saying? Senior year, number 7 in the state for facing off. And like I said, I was always just me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going around Coral Shores. You ain't supposed to wear pajamas and shit. Miss Moats used to dress code everybody. She ain't even care about me. Like, she gonna look at me, okay.
She knew.
She just let me go about my business. And if not, I just come back in some wilder shit than pajamas. All right, I'm gonna come in a fucking gorilla suit then. Let me run the mysterious room. I'm gonna go do some dumb shit like that. You hear me? So we had some good times. And then, right after high school, I felt like I was gonna quit rapping. So, you know, it was a little bit of hanging out, a lot of partying, underage drinking, a lot of stuff I ain't never gonna talk about or repeat. But yeah, we had a lot of times on acid, a lot of times on mushrooms, and I ain't glorifying nan drug and nan time. Be you. If you feel like psychedelics is for you, do
Right.
psychedelics. Ecstasy for you, do ecstasy. Smoke crack if you want to. I'm not promoting it, but people can do what they do. So long story short, I stopped rapping for a while. Somewhere around 19, I get on this song by a little group called Panty Raid. It's like some EDM type of,
Right.
comparison, trance, whatever, song called Get the Money. I was freestyling, and one night we was probably on some shrooms. We was definitely on some liquor, obviously on weed. And it was like me, Monkey, Alvy, and my dog Hick. And we was vibing.
You might want some water, dude. You're out of breath.
Sheesh. Parched.
You got a whole story there.
So we was vibing. Boom, I freestyle this verse. I'ma be the one that you call in the morning. Cause I had your ass moaning. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like this, talking about some girl I had hooked up or whatever, and she hit me up the next morning, and it was like, so it was like a real life story. Whatever. Everybody and their mama love this shit, but ain't nobody really heard it because it ain't recorded. But everybody that came over to Alvy's, rest in peace, Todd, big man upstairs on Pippin. We out there going crazy on Pippin. If you know what we was doing on Pippin, we was going crazy. And in the morning, everybody like, man, sing that one song. You ain't got a name for it really, and then I end up calling it in the morning. So that was one of the first songs that was in my catalog as Lahatchie. You know what I'm saying? I just was going by Kevin, then I was going by KMH 102 or KMH and all that, and then they started calling me Hatchet, and we had a little squad called the Bird Gang, so it was the Bird Gang Hatchet, and then Bird Gang, it wasn't a thing no more. Me and Bump and the gang and all them boys wasn't really hanging out no more, so it was just Lahatchie, but it's still Bird Gang, but it used to be Lahatchie with a space, and then it was, the space was for Bird Gang, and then I was like, fuck the space, it's just Lahatchie, you hear me? No space, LAHATCHET, no space, don't fuck my algorithm up. So, fast forward, that next year, or actually it's about the same time, because it's summertime, we in July, it's like me, Monkey, LaHurt, and Alvy all the time. We end up going to Florida City, I meet this nigga named Don, Shout out Don We. And we do a song in the little studio. These boys go up the block, maybe like 10 minutes away. We finish the song before they get back, and it's the first time I ever recording like an actual enclosure with a
Right.
microphone. You know, not in Miss Theory's room and not inside of my house. That's not really close to anything. You know what I'm saying? So I actually sound crazy. I sound good. The song was called "Been Through It All." It's on Bandcamp, LaHatchet.bandcamp.com. That's all the old shit. And we made that song. I put it online, and you know, people like, yeah, this shit's hard, blah blah blah. So me and Don, we built a good relationship. We probably made like 10 songs in the next 4 5 months,
Wow.
and this is just like the progressive trajectory of me getting embodied as a musician. You heard me? So I ain't really got nothing recorded. I ended up recording that Get the Money. Well, in the morning, song about January the next year coming through. So I'm 19 now. This is like when I'm just turning 19 type shit. So this is a July 2011
Right.
type deal till July 12. My dog Deli, you know, we was cool and shit. He was my dog. Me, him, and this nigga Get Him. Shout out Get Him, was in a group together like called Key Smoke. So Deli ended up making a little studio in his house. I was working at Dairy Queen and shit, and I had a bunch of random foam that I knew I'd be using one day from the ice cream, whatever. So like, I had a bunch of foam just sitting in my crib because I knew it was, you know, people used it in studios, and we ended up putting it in Deli's house. It's in the back in his shed. And when we was like I said, we had some raggedy ass mic. It was a USB mic. He didn't even have an interface or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Straight to the computer, raw dogging it. And I made like 150 songs in 7 months. And I can't remember what the first one was, but In the Morning was one of the first ones made in the deli. Shout out my dog Javi Saltero Brown though. Drive it down in your house. Right before Deli made his shit in his house, he had a little shit in his house somewhere in October, November. I recorded 4 or 5 songs with him. Some shit called Mozzarella, which is still one of my favorite freestyles ever. I don't know, some other shit, but Javi, he was there too. So, you know, boom. I make like 4 5 projects, and then July comes around. Right before July, I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do an album." I end up putting out this album on iTunes called "Bird Play." Shit made like $800 on iTunes. I don't know how many copies that is, but it was a stupid amount. I'm pulling up on niggas in the mall. I got the physical copies. They buy the physical copy, and then I still get them to buy the shit on iTunes and shit.
Right.
Like, you know, shit like that. Or they buy it on iTunes, and I give them a CD for free. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So we was hustling hard. We was in the malls always in the malls. We was always in the malls, always. Right. You know that picture of me circulating on the gram right now, sitting on Santa Claus lap at Bass Pro. You know what I'm saying? That was a CD day. You know, Santa Claus left with the CD type shit.
Right, and to let everybody know, you live in the Keys.
Yeah.
You don't live in Miami. You don't live in Homestead.
No.
So in order to go up there
it's
and
a little
promote
dry.
yourself, right? And what I always liked about your music is there's a lot of people who live in Homestead, live in the Keys, and they represent Miami. They represent where they don't live or where they don't come from.
I mean, I shout out over town. I shout out over town.
The Keys, man.
And I'm always shout out to 102. But, you know, I'm from over town originally. And, you know, people be like, why you be screaming that shit on this shit? Man, because I was there till I was about 13, even though I lived in the Keys. You know, I was there every weekend at grandma's house. Spring break,
right.
summer,
if
2
you
months,
really
3
listen
months.
to your lyrics, you could really hear a lot of stories about your life in the Keys.
But we here in the Keys, baby, 102. We on Mahogany, you know what I'm saying? We on Lime. We done did a whole lot of craziness. My parents, back in the day, had the wooden spoon and Marathon. You know, my mama had my first stepdad, so that was how I ended up in the Keys. And a lot of, you know, between age 4 in Miami, going to Orange Park and stuff, to age 15, seeing a lot of things, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's the beautiful thing about the Keys is we get to experience all the wild things about Miami and then go home.
Tight work.
They gotta stay there.
Exactly.
They gotta wake up in Miami on a Monday.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's real too. I mean, you know, it's beautiful here though. It's beautiful in Miami too. It's beautiful everywhere in South Florida. You know, I'm a South Florida boy.
Right.
I'm gonna always be a South Florida boy. But yeah, like I was saying though, we had our little group, you know, it was me, Erdell, and Gaby. And, you know, we dropped a bunch of little stuff. not as much as I wanted to. But back then, it was so many artists in the keys. Like all of a sudden, rap became a fad. It was like a trend.
Right.
So I ain't knocking on nobody. I'm finna name, but I'm about to name about 30 names. You hear me? We got Gomez. You know what I'm saying? He was rapping back then, you know, and he was actually good. He used to go by Drizzy, though, and Drake was already Drake.
Right.
But that nigga doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Gomez. But we had Gomez. We had, you know, DeAndre up here. Snipe still doing his thing. Shout out Blackheart Music, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog. We got a lot of shit coming in 26, but he stayed with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he came back to it, but he's staying with it now, you know what I'm saying? But then we had, like, niggas in Marathon. We had Sleepwalker and Karma. My nigga Sleepwalker, he gonna be on the Digi Hatch on a song called Eyes Red or Okra Winfrey. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but he on the record. Shout out Sleepwalker. Karma don't rap no more, but shout out Karma. You know, we always had, you know, Spo Bars. He been around since me. D.I., he always been around, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, you had Punisher, and then you had, like, I mean, I could literally sit here and name 20 people that ain't gonna do nothing for me. But, like, you know, it was a lot of people trying to rap. Everybody came through the deli at one point and made a song, you know. Even fucking my nigga Lil Cash was in fucking Brian Cash and shit. He was in the deli making songs with us and shit, you know. It was like really like a place where people went to hang out, vibe, pretty much get fucked up and be creatives, you know what I'm saying? And like if we had a camera and we actually filmed shit that was really going on in the deli, we would have been way cooler than that 70s show, way cooler than Jackass. Like shit would have been cool, real cool. So Monkey used to rap. Lamont, that nigga was hard. You know, Buddy was hard. But like now you got Mike Stack, Shout Stack. You know what I'm saying? We still got my dog Spo Bars. We still got D.I. and you still got me. You know what I'm saying? All them other ones ain't probably gonna be nowhere. But it's beautiful to have you. I appreciate what you attributed to the art form. But we see who's still here, and all the music that I'm about to drop is gonna really certify and stamp everything as far as South Florida and music as a whole. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel like people are waiting for that. You know, I feel like they are. I feel like the Keys has just been in such a weird area in the past like couple years, and they need something to come out of it. They do, you know, because we like to be represented.
Yeah, and
We
I
love
let them.
it.
I feel like I let them down. You know, during Rolling Loud. You know, I was drinking. You know what I'm saying? And I was very moody. Travis just died or whatever the case was. So like, you know, I went in there with a bunch of energy on. You know, the first round. You know, I won the shit. Rob Banks, all them boys, you know, was hollering out, yeah, this nigga the hardest shit ever.
Right.
Then the next round, I went in that bitch and I was flat, and I ain't never really talk about it like that. But so I came down here because I had the shirts made, the U shirts.
Right.
I had Kellen make flowers because I thought it was gonna be Trina. It ended up being Super Cindy. So I was already kind of blown by that. So like I'm a weird nigga. Some days, you know, the littlest thing just derails the whole train. But I'm always still smile through the pain, through the whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna give you 100% of me at all times, 102% if you're lucky though. So the Rolling Loud shit. Me and Dupree come down here because Dupree obviously never been to the Keys. He from New York. You know what I'm saying? We was hanging out with Dude. Everybody like, man, watch Dupree, dog, da. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for what reason? So we got two songs. We got one song that's super hype and one song that's actually lyrical, very good. You know what I'm saying? They're both good. But one is just an extraordinarily good song, and one is like, this is only for little kids that are turning up. We picked the Turn Up Mosh Pit song, which was his lead song, you know what I'm saying? So we go to the beach. We asked a bunch of people on the beach, but we literally asked some people at Hollywood Beach because, you know, we was getting paid to stay up in the little house between Hollywood and West Park, you know, between Miami and Hollywood on the county line type shit. They giving us like $100 a day to go eat, whatever the type shit, and then, you know, they're paying for us to go to the studio. We got a house full of fucking Monster Energy drinks, Gatorade, popcorn, you know, all sorts of fucking shit going on, you know what I'm saying? And none of them are from here except me. So they all get to fly in. I don't even know what they flying in on, but they flying in. I got to drive my little Whitney Houston out there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in the Volkswagen Jetta, in the Passat going crazy. We up there, first nigga there, though. So I got the best room, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, first round I win, I shut them down. Second round, we asked all these little kids on Hollywood Beach how they felt about the song. They picked the turn up song. So we go with the turn up song. Dumb as fuck. So I'm real moody of a person. So check it out. We come to the Keys on the way back. Somehow I make a wrong turn. I don't know if this nigga had the wrong address in the GPS or what it was, but I made a wrong turn. So now I'm in a whole mood because now I end up in traffic and I was about to be there. I know I'm passing the shit.
Right.
And I'm like, I need to be taking this, like, you know what I'm saying, in my head, like, I need to be taking this exit because I'm on the wrong side
you
of.
trust your instincts.
Yeah, and I was like, so I kept going. I ended up in fucking 995 slapping traffic in Fort Lauderdale. Had to turn back around and shit. So I'm hot about it. So boom, now I'm like, you know, my energy up here. That shit start slowly going down. So when we get back to the house, you know, I originally had like 2 hours is what I would have had. So I was gonna, you know, prep a freestyle or prep some words.
Okay.
So I had some ammunition. So I got all of 15 minutes to rush, running. So this shit already fucking my vibe up. So now my energy ain't green, purple no more. It ain't blue. That shit just straight red and orange.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of yellow. I get to the set for Rolling Loud. The nigga that made the beats, Neri, shout out Neri. Neri walk up singing the song that I had came up with, not the song that we ended up stepping. And I looked at him, and I looked at Dupree, and this nigga Dupree was like, you know, he looked at me like, nah, we made the right choice. But in my head, you know, I'm like, damn, bro, I just, you know, the nigga had to worry about if me and him would have made it to the last round. This is what everybody gonna feel like. You would have, you know, not ended up winning the competition, and that it is what it is. But I let me beat me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So boom, we picked that song. We look like idiots when I go back and look at that shit. But we jumping around, fuck. You know what I'm saying? And it's people from the radio. So we got DJ Entice, Super Cindy, and then we got I don't even remember DJ Scheme. I think I can't even remember who the third judge on that round was. And they were like, you know, Bosswood and Mello did a song, and Bosswood forgot half of his lyrics. He in this bitch, and he ain't even saying the words. You know what I mean? So like, you know, in the first round, Ambush choked completely. Shout out Ambush, shout out Bosswood, shout out Mello, shout out Dupree before I, you know, get past any of that. Shout out Tariq, shout out Rolling Loud. But they jumping around whoop-de whoop. And I was like, oh, shit, this nigga forgot the lyrics. But Mello had his back, you know, said whatever, got him hyped back up. Now he's doing the rest of his little 16. He might have did 8 bars out of it. So, boom, they end up getting that. So now it's me and Dupree on a battle, one-on-one, you know, 16 cipher. I came in with the dumbest, worst verse I ever spit in my life. I was like, I should have said some shit I said in high school. I would have been better off. But I was just so out of my energy, you know what I'm saying? And I know I let y'all down, and I'm very sorry, dog. At the end of it all, I'm a man, and I make mistakes, and I am sorry. So, get past that. Anyway.
That's actually what makes people perfect. What makes somebody perfect is, art is a man-made thing,
and it's never finished.
If you use AI to make a painting or do something like that, you don't really have something that when you look at art and when you listen, you can hear the human side coming out. And if you would have won and if you would have done the best, right, then you wouldn't have been human.
Man, listen, if I would have won, I would have turned the fuck up because I would have had a Monster sponsorship. I would have fucking been out here going crazy. Dupree didn't end up, the music my nigga Dupree made, they didn't end up liking it enough or something. And then he went into a depression. Yeah. And, you know, he stopped creating. He's a content creator. So he out here, he got a flamethrower. We didn't pull it out. But, you know, when I went to New York, you know, he showed me the shit. He had it with him, though. You know, but Empire didn't end fucking with his shit. And he ended up, you know, doing a little better off than the 50 Thou Wow at the end of it. And I don't know what happened with the end of it all, but he never dropped nothing. He had the one song on the beat that came from Rolling Loud, and, you know, they played it on 99 Jams, and I really don't know after that, but he's still my nigga, though. I love Dupree. That's my dog. We talk all the time. We talking about, you know, working together. Like, that song I'm talking about, Big Stepper, you know, Pressure is what we called it. Neri, you need to let me get that real quick, you know what I'm saying, so I can put that hoe out. Nah, that shit might end up on one of these lost tapes or a mixtape. You heard me?
What you mean, nigga?
He's got the button. Hey, dude, do you want to be fake or real? That's the question. And if you want to be real, then you're gonna have to fail.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fall on your ass, just like skating, dude. Like, how many fakers did you skate with?
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to fall.
Yeah, exactly.
But you gotta fall to get good, bro.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm better than I ever was right now. I honestly don't know what skateboarding's gonna look like for me in a year, but before the ankle got broken, I was actually progressing, and I'm 33. You know what I'm saying? I was learning new shit, learning new tricks, learning new grinds. I was never big into grinds. I'm grinding on everything now. You know what I'm saying? So I was getting real good, dog. I was like falling in love with skateboarding again and shit. Like, you know. So I hope when I do get to skate again that I ain't really too impaired or fucking impaired. Man. Man, I just hope my shit ain't fucked up too bad, dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, the Keys is a special place, and it's hard to represent this place because when you come to the Keys, all you're gonna do is go to Shell World and get drunk. So there's more to that to this place, and you don't hear about the wild part. Do we fucking party in the Keys? So I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere, and I've thrown all the parties. There's nothing like Hog Heaven, bro. Those motherfuckers, they're barefoot. They're barefoot, fucking twerking on the fucking thing. People are like, this place is crazy. You go to the back of Hog Heaven. Shout out. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna fuck Hog Heaven up, but when you go back there, everybody's fucking back there.
Hey.
They bring the little fucking table back there, dude. So I can't. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you remember Coconuts? Do you remember Coconuts going back there?
Hey, Coconuts, you know what it is. I did my last show there. I did my first actual, like, show as a Hatchet at Coconuts. It was one of the last shows in the last 2 weeks before they closed. It's on my YouTube, but on my old YouTube, KMHLIV3. But, yeah, shout out Coconuts. Rest in peace. That's where Skippers is.
Yeah.
Shit's wild.
People had babies back there. Oh, sometimes I'm going to Publix and shit.
What you mean, nigga?
Sometimes I'm going to Publix and I see some of the girls that were back there, and I'm like, oh, I know where your kid came from.
Oh,
I
my
know where
God.
your kid came from. Who you married to now? Because they don't know that story.
Oh. Oh, my God.
Bro, you know you see it.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I know that girl. Oh, there's her kid. I'm going to look away.
Hey. I'm going to look.
These are great.
I'm going to wave at him. Why not? How you doing, son?
People in the Keys are freaking great. And you know what? We love to hear about ourselves. And we don't hear about ourselves enough.
So check this out. I got one of my ideas, you know, I got weed water watches was an old thing. My dog Jerdy died back a year ago in December. And he always bumped weed water watches. He probably had it in his truck when his truck, you know, ran into whatever it ran into on that bridge. R.I.P. Dirty. But I was going to do like a Weed Water Watches 2 Welcome to Dirty Land, but strictly for the Keys. It was going to be like the sub name of it. So it was going to have like random songs like Hog Heaven would have probably been one of them, and then Mahogany Drive or 102 would be one, and like, you know, maybe City Hall Cafe or like Mr. Z's or, you know what I mean? Shit like that, Mile Zero, whatever. But like, you know, I was going to do some shit like that, try to get Mike Stacked on there, try to get D-Lou on there. Shout out D-Lou. Try to get my dog Young Fly Chico. You hear me?
A lot of people left the Keys, and they're all over the world. Everybody who left the Keys, but they always have a really fond place about this place in their heart. So they're always like, you know, did you ever like travel somewhere and they have like all this Keys stuff and like their restaurants and shit like that?
4 miles. Nah, check it out. My dog JV in South Korea. Shout out JV one more again. Always my lightning brother. He in South Korea. He goes to this spot. They got like, you know, the little downtown city. I don't know the name, so I'm not going to say it because I'd be lying. But he go to a little spot. He sending me snaps. He with the little Asian girls and shit. Woody. I'm like, oh, shit, okay, woo-woo. Next thing you know, he sent me a spot. It's got like a Miami Dolphins logo in the middle of the shit. I said, nigga, where you at, bro? What is this? He said, bro, that shit in the middle of Korea somewhere. He goes in and it's literally like, it looks like you're in Florida inside this bar almost. I was like,
because Florida's celebrated for some reason all over the world.
Dog, blew my mind. And they had the Miami Dolphins on the fucking door, big. Shout out the Dolphins, you know what it is. Hey, invite me out there. Let me throw some balls with Tua, you heard me? You know, Hatchet, baby.
So what's next? But what, like I said before in January, what's next? So everybody knows what's going on. Now what's next?
I should be dropping a video, you know what I'm saying, in the first 2 weeks of January. I should be dropping a video.
What do you want people to know? What
But
do you
I
want
need them
people
to
be looking for.
Yes, exactly. I need you to for sure be ready to purchase DigiHatch 102. It ain't gonna go up on streaming platforms until that shit gets sold 150, 200 copies. So that's gonna be the countdown. It's gonna be, you know, slowly getting uploaded. I'm gonna start dropping hints, dropping snippets, dropping clips, putting artworks up, and dropping singles off of it that ain't been released yet. But the whole full project, there's like 20 songs on that thing. You're gonna have to buy the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be $9, whatever. Buy that shit, support me, because when you buy it, that's equivalent to you streaming it 1,400 times a song. So if you buy the bitch, that's every song getting 1,400 streams accumulatively right off the ripper. And I know you ain't never gonna stream a song 1,400 times, even if you're a DJ working at Hog, playing Back That Ass Up 3 times a night for 3 years straight. Your math ain't still hitting it. You barely hitting 1,200 type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to help me out with that. Mixtapes, a bunch of mixtapes. Hopefully skateboarding, you know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to skate. A bunch of fitness. Healthy eating, healthy living.
Next time we gotta do something where we talk about that.
Okay,
your
for
fitness
sure.
journey.
For sure, I'm with all that. Yeah.
And then we gotta do your skating journey. We gotta go out there and film you skating and do all that. We can do all three.
Let's get all that going. You heard me? But yeah, for now it's just the Bird Visions. We gonna keep y'all up to date with what's going on in the life of the Hatchet. But I've been missing for a while, so let me continue to get you caught up with the HatchUp. You heard me? Excuse me. So my dog Jerdy, you know, he passed like I said a year ago, coming in December. Since then, you know, I done seen a couple of pro skaters, skated with a couple of pro skaters from Supreme, you know, Headbanger. I was out there with Zion. I was out there with Kata, you know what I'm saying? Troy Gibson, all sorts of shit. You know, I was at Lot 11 hanging with Jamie Foy, all sorts of shit like that. I was on the SLS stream with Aiden Ross, Charleston White, you know what I'm saying, like live on Kick. You know, so I mean, I might get into Twitch, I might get into Kick.
All right.
Y'all put in the comments which one y'all think I should be on. I'm probably gonna, you know, look into doing that. I had just started running right before I broke my ankle, so you know, I wanted to start doing like some 5Ks and shit. So hopefully running is on the agenda. A bunch of music though, music videos, all sorts of stuff. But skateboarding, I really want to skate. You know, the other day I rode my board, you know, not my board, but a kid's board in the park, maybe all 30 feet back and forth, and you know, I wanted to cry because I couldn't really get down on the skating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit hurt. You know, it hurt me every day to wake up, got a board that's not broken, and you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to ride, but I can't ride yet. So, you know, it's going to feel better one day at a time, you heard me? So sooner or later I'll be skating again, you know what I mean? I can't worry about whatever else. But hopefully you're going to catch me on Rolling Loud, you know what I'm saying? With some shit next year, you heard me?
All right.
You know, like, Tariq, man, let's get going. You know, we're going to get that show popping away. You heard me? But, yeah.
All right, well, I think that's a good place to cut this, then, don't you think?
What you mean, nigga?
I don't know, baby. We got to talk about some psychedelics and some
true, but
outer space. You know what I'm saying?
But that's part two. We got to let people watch the whole thing.
How long you think this shit is?
Pretty long.
25 minutes, 35 minutes?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was quick.
But if we cut now, we can go live again, and people can go look for part two.
Hey, that's real now.
All right.
We're going to do it.
Look, we're going to hit this one right here.
Shout out my kid.
All right,
Cash,
boys,
baby.
we're getting out of here, okay?